Well, one thing's for sure, we are not putting the heavy old rust-prone stainless steel rigging back on this boat. So we're going to Dyneema cord and anodized aluminum fittings. Okay, it's time to make the standing rig for this mast. So what we have is 100 feet of 5/16 or 8mm SK-75 Dyneema, Amsteel. And we want 27-foot cap shrouds. We need to allow 20 inches for the loops. It's going to be an 8-inch top loop through the Jesus shackle and at 12 inches to get around this deadeye at the bottom. 15-inch berries on each one. So we're going to go with 50 times the diameter. And we're going to put this Dyneema chafe guard on the inside of the loop. That'll be step one here. Okay, so we need to stop this between my berry mark. That's where the berry's going to start, and there's the other end of the loop. So it's going to be right in the middle there. Now we're going to do a lock brummel, so I'm going to bring this tail through this piece. This is going to be coming through the big shackle up at the hound. My crosses. 1, 2, 3 down. The berry, got my new fid in. I love these things. These are Selma Norwegian fids, recommended by Colligo. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, nice and clean. And I have this little hook that catches the line. Makes it very quick. Scrunched all of that in, and I'm going to start making my taper trims. Okay, there is the first Jesus shackle loop splice. I'm not going to stitch it until I do a big stretching job on this thing, get everything tightened up. So now I have this small chafe sleeve, and we're going to put it over the 5/16 or 8mm cap shrouds. So I want 27 feet minus 15 inches on either end where the tapering happened, because that's too thick to fit through the small stuff. We're going to use the thicker stuff for the end. Okay, the Dyneema is attached to the fid. I'm doing a long process of milking down cover 6 inches at a time here. Starts to bunch up here, so now I need to hold this up here and work down the whole cable. I think I found my rhythm on this. Point it down to load the fid. Lift it up to slide it down the rope. Down, load the fid. Up to the rope. Down, load the fid. Okay, this section is for the bottom loop, and then the berry, which is going to get the thicker chafe guard. So we're going to do one last heavy duty melt this down. Try to move it all the way to the other end. You can feel it sliding down the line a little bit. Pull as hard as you can here. This is going to be a really nice shroud. Protected spinnaker sheets. Won't mess with the main dyneema line inside. Gives a little bit extra strength out of this cover. UV protection basically forever on the inside. But this is a 20-year shroud. I'm not going to make the forestay today because I want to get these on, stand the rig back up, get my rake where I want it, and take a really precise final measurement. That's good. It's coming up to just about where the berry ends. So I'm probably going to leave this section uncovered. That's okay. All right, that's one done. Get on the other one. So here's the small chafe cover. It's ending. This is the foot of the heavier one that's going to get over the berry here because it's going to get thick. So I pushed them out of the way, got my first cross, and do my 3 passes and the taper here around the Colligo terminator. Guess who has the ball? Can I have ball? No, I don't get ball. Fine, I'll do splicing. I've marked my exit point for the fid, just beyond the length of the tail. I like where this is. 1, 2, 3 crosses. Almost there. There's my exit. That's the fid berry. Locking the line on the little hook on the inside edge of the fid. So what I'm talking about on this one, it's got a hook that catches the line. Through. It just pops right off. Scrunch it up and do the taper. My favorite part of splicing when all the little tapered tails disappear. Let's do it. Cover. Something like that. This all gets whipped together. Let's cover overlapping that one a little bit. I'll just pull it down to the other end. how we're going to leave it. We're going to go figure out how to set up the truck to pull against this thing, make it nice and tight, and we'll set that overnight. And then tomorrow we will do the locking stitches on both of these splices. And then we'll whip the covers right where we want them to be finalized. And that's a capture. Okay, we've loaded up the shroud with 10,000 pounds of Chrysler product. Put it in reverse. It's rolling down the hill. Set the brake and the transmission in park. A lot of tension on this. Like a piano string tight. Splices look super good. This is the way, well, this is the same kind of shackle that's going to be on the boat. The berries look good. I've just pulled this, I've been milking this super tight. You can see all the ridges of the line underneath, so once the tension comes off, this cover is going to be locked on hard. Okay, we're going to leave this on the truck overnight. In the morning I will do the other one. So here's the new cap shroud installed. So cap shrouds are done. I stood the mast up and I measured, I tied the 100-foot tape to the Jesus shackle up there, and right to the top here it's 31.5 feet even. So I think we're going to make the forestay stop at 30.5, so I have a 1 foot lashing area here. That will allow the mast to be rigged forward a little more if we want to, stand it up straighter. Also, if there's anything wrong with construction creep, it gets a little bit longer, we'll have room to take up that slack. Let's go make a 30.5 forestay. I cut it pretty close to my order. I ordered 100 feet of SK-75 8mm, and we've got 38 feet left here after doing the 2 cap shrouds. So remember that 38 feet. I think that's going to be enough. Here's the math for making the forestay. We're going to fill the gap of 30 feet 6 inches. We need 12 inches to get around this Colligo fitting, the terminator at the bottom. We need 8 inches to make the plain loop that'll go through the Jesus shackle on top. Then we need 20 inches to bury the tail at the top, 20 inches to bury at the bottom. So that's 3 20s is 60 inches or 5 feet. So with our 30.5 feet plus 5, we need 35.5 feet of line. But when I did the cap shrouds, I grew 7 inches over 28 feet when I did the pull on the truck. So we're going to assume 8 inches on this 35er. So I take 8 inches off of the number because I think I'm going to stretch it 8 inches when we put it on the truck later. So we need 34 feet 10 inches. We're going to make the plain loop first and not cut the line until we have that done. Also, that one's going to be a locked Brummel because we have the bare end of the line to work with. So stay tuned for that. So I marked off my 20-inch bury, my 8-inch loop, with the bitter end here, my chafe cover that's going to be inside the loop, slid that on. I'll take the end of the line, pass it through here, and this way it's going to be a locked Brummel loop. 38 feet of line to pull through here, including picking up weeds from outside the door. There. So this will be at the top of the map at the hound. Okay, and I'll do my passes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Passes, and now the berry. Try to get it right here. cleanly inside the fid. All right, here we go. Tempt the berry. Ooh, a long way to go. My berry is much longer than my fid, so I have to carefully work this guy down. There's my black mark. Time to come out. There we go. Yeah, good. Got it. So work this all the way back. Done with the fid, done with this tape. Nice small fid, and start pulling out fibers for doing the taper. I don't like to cut them till I get them all out so I can see them and really work on trying to do a balanced taper where the distance between these taper cuts is all relatively equal. Just eyeball it. Just moving down the line about an inch at a time. Okay, go back. The first one was here. This was starting to dull. And the last one halfway between. And there's my taper. Okay, here we go. There we go, the ends disappeared nicely. That splice is done. Okay, now we're going to set this up to measure. Oops, we forgot a number. Now that this loop is done, I need to know where is the point. 30.5 feet between here and here, less the 8 inches that we think the thing's going to creep by. So I need to go find 29 foot 10 inches on this line and mark it as the top of this, where to place the top of the loop. 29 foot 10. So this is where I want to be, 29 foot 10, just the top of this fitting to the top of the forestay loop. Yep, good. So now I need to get 20 inches here for the berry, cut this off and do the splice. There it is. Boom, 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 boom. So before we do the end splice, and we've got this end open, we need to put on all the chafe cover. So for this big berry here, we're going to use the wider piece. We've got about a, what's that, a 15-inch piece to put on first. Then we'll put the skinny stuff for the majority of the line, the other thick one for the lower berry, and we'll scrunch it up out of the way so we can do the tuck and then pull it back over the finished taper. Spectra cover. It's a tube. See, it's a tube of woven spectra over the whole thing. So I'm not going to film all that, but I'll get it started for you. So I load my fid really carefully so it doesn't slip out, and keep it nice and tight in there. Put this guy up on the top. Yeah, first one in goes to the top of the forestay. That'll be easy to slide all the way down. Save this for the bottom. And now we go into the 30-foot piece here. It's pretty snug. Again, just point it down to load line onto the fid. And then pull up to work the cover down the line. Going about 4 inches at a time here. Starting to bunch up down behind me to the right, so I'll have to stop and go stretch it further down. Okay, I've been milking it down for about 20 minutes here. Still have a couple feet more to go. Okay, I've got all the small diameter chafe guard on. It's about 29 feet of it. Push it out of the way. Now, the thicker stuff that's going to be over the taper and the splice. Get that pushed down out of the way too. Okay, here's our mark. We want that at the top of this fitting. Come down here. And now let's do this splice. I like to do these a little bit beyond. I don't want too tight of a bend right there. Should be more like that. And this, of course, will get sucked way down tight. Pulling on the truck, so I'll go pretty close. Trying to get it right in here. One, two, three. One, two, three. Gonna pop out right about here. I'm getting tired. My dexterity's going down here. Caught a little bit of fiber there. There we go. Okay. Get rid of the tape and do the taper. Oh, your ears must be burning.
Ah, I guess they were. I thought I'd give you a shot, see if they were there, but how are you?
I am good. Yeah, I'm on the last taper of this standing rig job, putting the forestay together right now. I'm just
Good job, Greg.
selecting out little snags to, or strands to cut. That call was not scripted. That was Keith, who sold me all the cordage for this project. It had taken me a while, so I think he was just calling to check and see if I was getting my work done. For 10 years, Keith has provided me so much great counsel on multi-hull optimization. I thank him out loud here, and without Keith's help, I would not be building my own standing rig. So, thanks for the partnership, sir. Okay, the forestay's been on the truck overnight. Probably good 14-15 hours by now. And it's not just the weight of the truck. The truck was actually put in reverse, back down on hard. Then we set the brake and transmission in that fully pulled condition. If I go and release the transmission right now, you'll see the whole thing actually lurch forward. And the tension we got, play the string here. Pretty tight. Okay, so I have just been pulling the white cover, the milk cover, all the way down here. It's stretched on both sides. And then this is the thicker cover that goes over the splice and taper. So that'll end up right there. Okay, when I get my other hand back from the camera, I'll do that properly. Careful here because I don't want to back off the inner cover. The last step will be to do all this whipping here, 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 here. You can see the shape of the inner core here locked in place by the super tight cover. Well, I'm not going to show you my whipping process because I'm pretty lousy at it. I just used this rope line whipping twine. But I definitely did locking stitches on this one, 8 locking stitches on this splice, because this is the second one that was not a locked brummel. This one was the locked brummel, the first one we did. This goes at the top of the mast. I figured put the lock up there where I can't see it, but down here we can keep our eye on this. This little lump right here is where the thinner chafe cover ends, and it has whipping around it to lock that in place. Okay, this is ready to install. So next day, everything's been tensioned. That's the new forestay. There's port cap shroud, starboard cap shroud, new big shard shackle. It's ready to go. Got spinnaker halyard, screecher halyard. We're raising on the spinnaker and jib. We're clean. And we just finished splicing up the mast raising temporary triangles. And these are adjustable. So I think I've got these in the right position. Got my little temporary baby straps on. Raising gear. One more thing to show you up front. It's a part of the move to clean up the foredeck. This will be gone, that wasn't temporary. But the mast raising is a new strap. This is Dyneema inside a vinyl tube here. And it's like beefed up the edges down here. So you'll just open this hatch up, connect the mast raiser. Then once the mast is up, the hatch will go back on and that stays nice and clean. Okay, ready to crank on this and lift the rig. Oh yeah, there's the standing rig. Let's go check it out. First time I've seen it with only the 3 lines up in the sky. Got this cap, looking good. My tail's a little short. I'm hoping that when we sail and everything stretches out a bit, I'll get some length on this. Otherwise, I'll have to replace that one. This one's also actually a little short. Dang. I think I like my rake. Haven't measured it yet. And there's the new forestay. The system's good. Ignore this little thing. Oh, looks sweet. Okay, I'm ready to go slack off on mast raising. Let's see what we get. Okay, clutch open. Pressure off. The rig didn't move. Sweet. It's loose. Make sure this thing didn't crack or do anything weird. This looks fine. The other side. I'm gonna feel underneath there. Yep, mount nicely hardened up well. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. So we'll take this off. Away, and you're left super clean foredeck. So we'll just have to rig up one more piece here, something like this. Just do a little clean loop to be the jib tack point. Okay, gin pulls off, rig is up by itself. It was very easy to tension it. I do need to get one of those little line cleat grabbers. So it make this easy when you're here on the trailer. Just crank this thing down. The boat's only a little bit lower than it sits on the trailer, so this will be right up about at face level. Be easy to pull down, tension the rig. I think my only little mistake is being too short on these lashings. We'll see. Hopefully they'll stretch enough. I did not pull stretch these already. We'll see after the first couple sails. Otherwise we'll replace this line. That's pretty sketchy actually. I don't want to go sailing like that. So this is probably like a $40 mistake. As to costs, well, I got about $500 in cordage and a few $100 for the Colligo parts, so the whole thing done for well under $1,000. It definitely took a bunch of labor time. Got a couple days splicing and measuring, but we've got a pretty high-end standing rig now. It's so clean compared to the metal it used to be. I love this. New chain plates, I think are going to be fantastic. Definitely modernized. Oh, the little mast raising triangle system worked really well. And now those little guys can be part of the barber hauling and twinging system. I think we're going to call it a wrap. We got a standing rig. We're getting really close. But don't expect another video launching the boat super soon, because I'm going back to Mexico to go sailing on Raven's Wing for the rest of May and into June. So this is going to wait till maybe around the solstice. Very excited to get the standing rig done. Peace out, everybody. Keep sailing.